This is Garvey Su, and this is my essay for This I Believe. I believe that love is the best thing a human being can feel, yet it is also the most destructive. It is the root of all good and evil. It can turn people into loyal lovers, compassionate heroes, saviors in a bleak present, lighting up a dark future. It brings hope and comfort. People will never stop doing what they love, and they will not let any obstacles stand in their way. Lovers of science discover amazing breakthroughs in medicine that save lives or in technology that improve society. Lovers of art and writing bring imagination and color into the world. Love is the strongest motivation for people to live their lives in the present. On the other hand, love can devastate lives and inflict pain. Lovers of material objects resort to greed, thievery, or robbery. Lovers of lust or pleasure destroy relationships or scar others emotionally and mentally forever. Proud men and women can commit an unforgivable act out of jealousy in mere seconds, forever ruining others' lives. In an extreme case, those who love to murder will not allow anything to stop the serial killing. Love creates sin. Love does not distinguish between right and wrong. It is up to each one of us to ensure that our love helps, not hurts. Everyone has the power to love someone else, but everyone also has the power to love hurting or killing others. I've grown up in a family where I personally do not feel much love. My parents are across the world. My grandparents, although lovingly and nurturing caretakers, do not understand how I feel most of the time. I have no one at home to connect with. I struggled to find love. I was afraid that I would have no direction to follow in my life, that my actions would not be right, for myself or for others. In these struggles, I began writing fictional stories to let loose my creativity and frustration. My imagination flows in the genre of romance. In the many times of academic and or familial hardships, my characters find peace and happiness with their love within my stories. I've realized that I've come to love writing. The happy endings for my characters are the ending I want in my life. I've now stopped being so impatient in finding the one person that I've come to love, and instead come to love the thing that I love doing the most. I now believe that everything I do and love is right, that I am not misguided.
This is Wendy Ta with This I Believe. I believe that humans are not built to live without pain. Every bit of discomfort and anger and sadness and hate that a human being feels, the joys of life are made that much more evident. People like to think that a world without bad, a utopia if you will, is the ideal environment to live in. Apparently these people have not read The Giver. I believe in gray, lots and lots of gray. That is, I don't believe, rather I don't like to believe, that any sentient creature can be inherently good or evil. I try to keep things in perspective, because really, how many people commit crimes simply for the sake of breaking the law? And I'm not talking about tasteless pranks or hooligan antics. I'm talking about robbery, illegal immigration, murder. Oftentimes we only hear one side of the story. We don't hear about how the robber needed to feed his family, how the gypsy from Romania wanted a better life for herself, how the 25-year-old woman tried to defend herself from an abusive husband. We don't. And who are we to judge? We are no more righteous, no less guilty. We all want. So how does pain relate to gray? It's all relative. Not all pain is bad pain. Take love, for example. A common phrase, cliched as it were, possibly because it's true. Love hurts. A frequent line in romantic comedies, give or take some degree of variation, goes something like, "It hurts to love you," or "You make my heart hurt," or "I can't breathe without you." Asphyxiation never sounded so romantic as when it was phrased like that. If you've read The Count of Monte Cristo, or spark-noted it, or watched the movie, the theme of revenge is probably the first thing you can think of when you see or hear the title. Oh yeah, that book about revenge. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, no. Yes, because revenge is a very strong and recurring theme. And no, because that's not all it's about. If you've ever wondered how to make someone appreciate life, love, and happiness, the answer the book gives is, give that person hell before rewarding him or her. Effective, to be sure. For how do you know what happiness is if you've never been sad? How do you know what love is unless you've felt some sort of hate? People don't know how to live without pain. People don't know how to function without pain. This I believe.
I believe that there is justice in murder for revenge. If there is no other method to which to quell the sadness and anger of the victims or punish those that deserve to be punished, why not resort to murder as a means of righteousness? If the government has the right to send others to their deaths, and if it is our right for soldiers to kill for their country, then where is the fault in killing someone for revenge? In war, soldiers kill to protect their country and to eliminate the enemy. In order to do so, they fight and kill each other by the handfuls, and by doing so, the families of the soldiers are forever changed. Thousands of people die in war, so what is a few more for revenge? The court can judge someone and give them the death punishment, then why can't others be judged by the people they have wronged? Instead of going through the process, which takes years to finish, and only prolonging their punishment and the pain of the victims, why not just finish it as soon as possible? Murderers have escaped their punishment and lived for years going through the trials. Others are never sentenced for the death penalty, but are allowed to live their life until they die in prison. Prison is not enough for punishment for the crimes some of the inmates have done. Why do they get to live out of the rest of their lives when the people they kill are not given that chance? Hundreds of prisoners are allowed to see their family and loved ones, but families of the victims would never be able to do so. The families of the victims would forever know that the person who ruined their lives are still alive and may even live longer than they should. They are told that they have to forget everything and that regular punishment is enough to satisfy their revenge. For the lives of the people they have ruined, they should give up their own lives to make things right. In the words of Hannibal, an eye for an eye, as it can be said, for a life for life.
My name is Tonia Tran. This is my essay for This I Believe. I believe teachers can make or break my interest in learning. Depending on how they treat their students and behave, I will either enjoy coming to class or learning about the subject matter. Before, what got me through the day were the friends I would see in and out of class, cracking jokes or sharing gossip. In high school, there are more drama and two-faced BS, making me isolate myself from them, my friends. As a result, I hope my teachers, not all, but some good ones, can inspire me to discover my own personal interests. I can remember countless times when I cringed upon entering a classroom because I knew the teacher inside will make me hate the education process and life. Just feeding, especially force-feeding, information that follows state standards, day after day hinders my learning process since teachers end up instructing generic lesson plans and sounding robotic. So it just goes through one ear and out the other. Teachers and students are supposed to create a barrier between each other in order for teaching and learning to take place. But that makes me feel too impersonal with them, so I end up feeling indifferent about the subject and school. Besides the distant relationship, patronizing students because teachers believe their framed degrees makes their words worth something lessens my respect for them. I can't learn from these teachers if they can't express their emotions through their teaching or their love for the subject. They may be qualified because they understand the material and receive their teaching credentials, but they are not qualified to pass on their so-called knowledge to students who deserve an educator with both people skills and book smart. I understand it's the responsibility of the student to learn, but it ends up being the most difficult thing to do if the medium in which the information is given bores us to death. If this is what I had to look forward to in my next 4 years in college, I'd rather stay in my room and learn from my television set. The words and expressions, my 18 years of knowledge that I have acquired, did not come from my teachers, but from comedies and dramas. This I believe.